Well, my name is Erica, and I didn't know I'd have a before picture this morning, but that was actually my favorite jacket. um, we were a lot skinnier back then, weren't we, hun? All right. Well, my name is Erica, and as you can see, we've been around for a long time, but I actually gave my life to the Lord at a Friday Night Live service. Just like we still have Friday Night Live services. If you haven't been out to one, you have got to make it. God is still transforming lives on Friday night. But I was a broken little girl. I was 15 years old. I thought I had my life together. I thought that I had all my ducks in a row, and I didn't. And one day, sometimes Satan makes it seem like you have it all together when you're in your sin. And then one day, he comes along and he pulls out that rug right from underneath your feet. How many of you have been there before? And I know that that's what happened to me. I was 15 years old. I found out that I was pregnant. Not only that, but within a couple weeks, I found out that the guy who I had given my heart to for the 2 years before that, there was also someone else that was pregnant too. And everything that I had my heart set on just seemed to crumble away. My parents found out, of course, and my mom actually had a nervous breakdown. My house was like ground zero. It was horrible. My sister was hooked on meth. My brother had just gotten busted for drugs himself, and everything was a wreck. I had no hope. But I am a testimony that God can change a life without permission, because the Lord never came and consulted me on whether I was willing to give my heart to him or not. That Friday night, I didn't even want to go to church. The only reason why I was there is because my sister thought one of the guys was cute, and she told me she'd take me out to eat afterward. And if you promise a pregnant girl to go out to eat, she'll go ahead and go to church. So use it as an evangelism tool. So anyway, I did go to church, and I was sitting in the back, and I had my arms crossed. I didn't have any intention of listening to anything that was going on. Ceci was leading worship. Bobby was preaching, and I was the one at the altar. I was on my face in tears. And you know what? This is a story of hope, because there's some people here, and you have loved ones that are lost. Maybe it's a son or daughter, maybe it's someone else in your life, but they are just in rebellion, and they are closed off to the things of God. But you know what? God didn't need my permission to get a hold of me that night. And he can break through, he can break down those walls and do whatever he wants. I'm a witness to that. The last thing I wanted to do was be crying at the altar in front of everyone, but God changed my life. So anyways, months went by. God healed me, because I didn't find out that I was expecting till I was past my first trimester already, because I had been drinking so much alcohol. I was having so many problems. I didn't know I was pregnant, but then they told me that my son was going to have fetal alcohol syndrome. And I was having a lot of pregnancy problems. I was in the emergency room almost every day. And I thought, well, okay, I'm saved, but this must be the punishment for my sin. And sometimes, even though we get saved, we feel like God is sitting there with a hammer and he's just ready to punish us because we messed up so bad, right? But that wasn't God's plan at all. In fact, he was just waiting for the day to heal me. And I still remember the day that he healed me, because not only did he heal me, but I knew, he spoke to me and told me that he had also healed my son, who is Isaiah, who is, many of you know him. He's around here. He's 14 years old now. And you know what? God has blessed us to no end. We now have 6 little ones. Those 2 kids up there did get married about, a year later. I was 17. And God is just so good to us. He is so faithful even when we're not. So I'm a testimony to remind you to stand in the gap for your loved ones and watch what God can do.